Let's go. We've got a fantastic race for you today. There aren't... Oh, wait, no, there are a bunch of RAs for this race. Let me just read them out for you. Our prime players are just going to be having vanilla suit damage reduction. That means that it's going to... How much we take in terms of damage is only going to be determined by our highest suit, as opposed to how many suits we collect. So if we find Phazon, that's an instant 50% damage reduction, regardless of what else we have. Okay, Echoes, though, has a bit more. Echoes is going to be using the new patcher, which changes puzzle solutions, and also the gate on the way to GFMC. Annihilator gives us 40 beam ammo of each type, so we don't have to worry about charging individual shots if we haven't gotten beam ammo. 2 of our light ammo expansions and 2 of our dark ammo expansions were taken out, replaced with missile expansions to make up for this, though. So our max ammo is going to be, I believe, the same as before. That does appear to be it, though. Our runners should be starting soon. It looks like they've already begun, but it will take a minute for the restream to catch up, and even longer for those of you in Twitch chat. Now, I am going to be solo comming this, so wish me luck, guys. Hopefully a SpeedGaming volunteer will synchronize the streams in just a moment. Thank you, Brakota. I appreciate the encouragement. Yeah, I probably do at this point. I want to say I don't because I'm not actually somebody who plays a lot of rando. I don't play a lot, but I've probably spent like in the tens of hours, not just watching randomizer, but commentating it. So, okay, space jump boots and sand cache right away. That's a pretty enormous hint. That means that our space jump is locked behind the amber translator. And we got a progressive suit for Echoes immediately, an alcove. That's instantly going to be huge for a Dark Aegon. The problem is that we can't actually, or not Dark Aegon, but just the Dark World in general. The problem is we can't actually take any portals at the moment. We don't have a beam to open any of the free portals, and we also don't have bombs to activate the one in Aegon. We don't have any gear to get into any of the other portals with scan posts, which we could activate with our current gear. So we can't get to them in the first place. That kind of disqualifies that. But it is still absolutely a fantastic early find because you can go quite a while and be expected to do quite a bit of the Dark World without a dark suit, given how much energy you find is actually taken into account. So it's definitely it's very nice. It also is definitely something we want to see for final bosses. You do not want to do final bosses just in the various suit. That's never fun. That's never fun. Because that constant ticking away of the health just adds a lot of stress. You need quite a few E-tanks to do that, since there aren't any light zones during final bosses. I think there might be one during Dark Samus, but I'm not even sure about that. During Emperor Ring, there are none. And you've seen how fast we can do Emperor Ring, but even then, that's still a lot of pressure. Albert is going to give us the Morph Ball Bomb for Prime, which is really a very significant item. The problem is that we don't know where the Morph Ball is, so we can't use it yet. So that's not going to be relevant quite yet. Avena appearing to take a ship save, which is never a bad idea. That's our first E-tank for Echoes in Transport Tunnel B. Now Xenomorphs is out of missiles from the fight, so we just need to get one from these crates before we can get this item. And I didn't see what the temple assembly site item was, but it looks like it's looks like sort of orangish, so probably nothing too important. Most that's like a grapple beam for Prime. I didn't see what kind of upgrade was in Accursed Lake. I think it was something like either missile related or like a movement type upgrade. I'm not sure though. I didn't get a good look at that. Xenomorphs is going to give me a second chance though. Beam related upgrade actually. That could be one of our beams, or it could be more likely a beam ammo expansion, given where it is. Because we do actually need beams to get there in the first place. We need a beam to move the block out of the way to get that portal open, and we need another beam to open the portal in the first place. So that's definitely going to limit what could possibly be there. Umos reward is nothing. It's just a missile expansion. That's fantastic news. It means we don't have to worry about coming back for that. And now our runners are heading to Agon, as you would expect. The gallery wall just gives us a missile. Nothing too helpful. Baja taking a save, which is never a bad idea. It's always smart to take those saves, and it's not because we're worried that we're going to die, to be clear. We don't even have the items to go to Dark Agon, so that threat is not even remotely close. We already have an energy tank even, which is not something you need. That is something you can go without, but we have it anyways. Plus that dark suit. That, unlike Prime, the suits and Echoes don't reduce incoming damage from most sources, but it's still pretty helpful to have. That's Amber Translator from TGC in Transport Access North, which is going to let us scan all of the hints, because it got... Ooh, that's Super Missile in... I think, was that Junction? I'm not sure exactly what that was. It started with a J, and I think it had Pit in the name. I'm not sure where that was. Judgment Pit, thanks. I think that's the Jump Guardian boss fight room. I could be wrong. Which is still... That's definitely a pretty good room if that's where that is. Yeah, Baja's reading these hints like lightning. It's really making my job just that little bit harder. It's because he's got it in full resolution, unlike me. But yeah, that is a good location for supers either way, because that's pretty early. And we also have Amber, so we can get this space jump in Sand Cache.
Hey, Pierre, joining you here.
All right, 6 minutes into the seat, and I already have a co-commentator. That's absolutely fantastic news. Thank you for joining me. As you can see, we found a lot of items very, very quickly. I can explain things as we go. Ooh, Avena finding an item in... Oh, that is... What room is that? Is that Transport Access North? I must have made a mistake then. I thought that's where our Amber Translator was. I guess that must have been on Hive Totem then.
Yeah, I do not know the room names for Prime,
Chica
so...
is dead. Don't worry, I'll help fill you in. I'm pretty good with them. But Chica has a missile expansion, so that's one boss dead. We've already got half of Quad dead as well, because Umos Reward is just a missile expansion. These are some great hints that are telling us really a lot about the seed and giving us plenty of good news. And another thing was that our super missile was in Judgment Pit. It's another hint that we got. And you can already see from the tracker how much progress we've made. Our Echoes player has Amber Translator, a Dark Suit, and an STK. And our Prime players already have bombs, which is pretty good.
I can't think of the last time I had Dark Suit before I went to the Dark World.
That was literally our first item. That was Alcove. That was Space Jump first. That's where we got that item. So it came to us very quickly. And there's our Space Jump boots. I guess that was the item in Mining Station A. I'm not sure where else that could be, that Xenomorphs would have gotten it. That's still massive. That's going to let us get this free light ammo expansion. Why not? But yeah, welcome in, Rico. Nice to see you.
Nice to be here. I see Baja got the 2-cycle on the Bomb Guardian.
And was rewarded with a gravity boost. That's not going to be relevant quite yet, but it's always... It makes the thinking a lot simpler for once we get to Torvus.
Mm-hmm.
This has really been kind of a blitz. This has been moving very quickly. We've already got our morph ball bombs. Those were in, I believe, Watery Hall. And that's going to be for Echoes. No, wait, that was Ruined Shrine. I was completely misreading that room. I don't know. Going between all four of these screens is a bit much at times. And what was that hint that Baja just got in Aegon?
I think that was Quad as a missile expansion.
So that is Quadraxis fully dead. So the only boss that can have anything at this point is a Morbus. I didn't see what was in Mining Plaza, and a Morbus themselves could be guarding something. That is kind of an interesting question. Do you think a Morbus is like... Do you think they're like a hive mind kind of thing, or do you think it is just 3 separate worms? Or even 6 worms, depending.
That is something I have never thought about.
Yeah, I haven't really considered it much either.
Considering they move in sync, though, it's probably a hive mind.
Honestly, that's not a bad assumption. That makes a lot of sense to me, thinking about it. We're seeing TGC now climbing Root Cave. We're going to get an item here behind the leaves. That is another STK. That's our second so far. And we're likely to do the Arbor Chamber out of bounds here. Yep, TGC is setting up for it, hopping on this vine. We're getting onto this collision. Going to stand on the door to transition the room, most likely. No, we're not doing it that way. We're just doing it the standard way. Energy Tank. That never hurts, especially since it's our first one for our prime players this seed. Xenomorphs we see actually doing the puzzle to open the portal, which is a bit slow. We don't have screw attack, so we can't really skip it. Hopefully, since... can you jump across to like from the first to the third with just NSJ?
Yes, you can.
And does it successfully on the first try. These pillbugs aren't going to give us any trouble. Ooh, but we do... No, wait, that's intentional. My bad. For a second, I thought that was a blunder, but I forgot. Oh, yeah, he laid a bomb right there. It's not going to bother us at all. Baja Blood just a bit behind, starting the puzzle now.
Is TGC shooting at an angle?
I don't know what's going on here. I think it's... I've never seen this before. I have no clue what's happening. Also, sadly, I do have to say, Xenoward's audio is unfortunately not usable, so we can't really get any audio for his stream. Quite sad, considering he was the first into Dark Aegon, but we will make do. Doing this little standable on the blade pod. You can stand on those, even though it looks like you can't. And doing that, we will be able to skip what would otherwise be a space jump requirement. We are getting hints. Wind chamber, biohazard containment. Ooh, that's bad. Under transit 1. Ah, that's not great either. ATS. Oh, that's... Warrior Shrine. That's fine. Central Mining Station. That's not so bad either. That's we got to do the pyro fight, but we were going to do that anyways. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it looks like I only caught that in the middle of the hint reading, but those hints don't seem great. They could be a lot better. That said, could be a lot worse. We've already killed 2 of our bosses in terms of where progression can be, which is always good news.
Is Zeno doing jump guarding before he goes to Trial Tunnel?
Which one is Trial Tunnel again?
The Broom Closet.
It would look like we're doing that, apparently. Which is a bit weird to do NSJ, I think. Because it's not easy to get up to that ledge.
No, it's a lot faster to just go and do that check, and then come back.
Even if you had Space Jump, that's still the order I would imagine runners do it in. But we do have hinted. This has been hinted as super missiles. So it's obviously Avena would be kept waiting. Avena is waiting for the supers since those were hinted by our Amber translator hints.
Mm.
And that leads to a wave beam, which is huge. So this was, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because you don't want to keep your partner waiting. So it's worth making this route a little bit slower in exchange for giving your prime player more to do, get this chick out of the way a lot more clean. Given the full context, it's definitely the better move in my view, which is why you see both players choosing to make it. You can see TGC's waiting at the tree as well for this super missile. So I'm not surprised. Also, I do apologize if I'm being a little bit too chatty here. You can definitely feel free to cut me off if I'm going on a bit of a ramble. My brain was just already in solo comm mode. I need to switch out of that. That's going to take a minute. Broom Closet, unfortunately, doesn't have anything of value. Both of our runners on the prime end of things are taking basically the same route. They're both climbing Tower of Light. TGC is a little bit faster, even though he got the stump a bit later. It manages to make the climb a lot smoother.
I think Avena fell out of one of their dashes.
That would explain it, wouldn't it? And another. Thankfully, we managed to land on the rung below, but not at an ideal position. We're going to have to hop across here and fall down another layer, which is never good. We do see the morph ball in Tower Chamber, though, which is a very big find. That's going to enable us to make use of those bombs we found earlier. Very helpful. It's really interesting to chain, because we had to get a lot of items for our Echoes player to make it to Judgment Pit, and then we had to use those supers to get the wave beam to get the morph ball, which is normally one of the first items we see. What do you make of that?
Oh, that just... Wyvern and I would not be having fun with a seed like that.
Neither would I. Powerbomb expansion for Baja Blood, which is going to enable some more things.
Yeah, Powerbomb's not in logic, but you could still do Powerbomb checks without orphaning them and having to come back, so...
Absolutely, absolutely. Both teams doing basically the same things in both games right now, so this is there's not too much going on. Definitely some time here where we can start to think about what the future might hold. Where do you think our Suit might be? That's sort of the question in my mind for our prime players specifically. Dark Aegon Key and Rune's Nursery.
I could see Varia being somewhere in the GFMC loop.
That's honestly not a bad instinct. I think I would kind of agree with you there. I think especially seeing on the GFMC ship, if we find space jump soon. And there's our Echoes super missiles in Gallery Tunnel, so that morph ball is paying dividends already. That's going to really help our Echoes players.
So with Gravity Boost, Dark Suit, and Supers, I would think that there's probably major progression in Torvus.
Yeah, but it always feels bad to go there when you don't have Emerald, especially for, the underground tunnel.
Yeah, and you don't have a Echo's beam yet, so it's not in logic yet. But that would be like in the back of my mind that I eventually want to go there.
If we find Seeker missiles, then we're going to start getting suspicions, is what I would say. But even then, we absolutely want at least our Dark Beam before we start thinking about that too hard.
And Xeno quick killing bomb guarding with a power bomb.
B to an energy tank for our prime player. The second one this seed. The first one we got in Arbor Chamber, so it's definitely it's like the first one that we have in Logic. Light Beam in Watery Hall Access. That's our first beam. That's very good, but we want the Dark Beam more.
Okay, Light Beam puts Torvis Lagoon in Logic.
Does it? Interesting. We're going to check Hive Chamber
Because
B.
you can move the platforms.
Oh, yes, you're right. Missile Expansion and Hive Chamber B, so that's nothing.
Though I think you're still expected to have Space Jump.
Yes. Main Power Bombs for Echoes now. So that's Power Bomb checks in Logic for Baja Blood. Those were in the Watery Hall Poison Water item. So those are... I don't know if that's in Logic with just Space Jump before Flagra. But then again, I think Flagra is in Logic with our current items.
Yeah, don't ask me Logic for water checks in Prime. Wyvern is very comfortable with all
I thought that was
parts
Annihilator
of
Beam.
underwater movement, so I have no idea what's in Logic because he just does stuff.
That's true. I would like to point out that our teams in this match are pretty unbalanced.
There's
in terms of
Emerald.
their win-loss. Ooh, Emerald, that's big.
So
But
Emerald was powerbomb locked.
Okay, so that is in Logic. I was going to say, our teams are actually pretty imbalanced. Team Orange versus Green currently has no losses. They're 3-0. Whereas No Gain, All Pain is almost the reverse story. They are 0-4. They've taken 4 losses and currently are living up to the name. All Pain this tournament, which is surprising because these are Avina and Xenowars are actually pretty good players. They've been in our tournaments for multiple years, they have a lot of practice, so it's kind of interesting that they've taken so many losses. I don't think this is an uneven match by any means, but it is definitely interesting that we have seen such a differential in terms of our win-loss. Could this match be a bit of an upset, do you think?
Well, you never know what's going to happen in a CGC seed because you could last location an important item and that can just change the way everything's going.
Also, it appears Avina has named themselves Umos in the Randomania session, which is kind of funny. Oh, we got a movement system hit for Baja Blood, but I didn't see it. Oh, Xenowars have named themselves O'Lear.
Missile expansion on Incinerator.
That's unfortunate. Team OBG right now, I would say, is ahead, so that's not going to hurt them too much, but definitely not great. Joke hint for Xenowars, that's unfortunately not going to tell us much.
I'm honestly kind of surprised there was no progression on Incinerator. Seems like there's always progression there.
Yeah, Zoid tends to have progression pretty frequently.
Just a missile under the save station.
Yep. I believe that's all 4 of our Great Temple items checked by now. Actually, I guess there are 5, if you count Umos too.
Have we seen the Tumos hint?
Yes, we have. It is dead. Quad is completely dead at this point. That's another Dark Aegon key in Crossway. We've seen 2 so far, which is a bad omen.
So possibly space jump boots in ventilation area.
That's an interesting theory. We do have the light beam at this point, so it's very possible. Seeing a jump off of the Toad, so check the antechamber item, which is just a missile. The jump off the Stone Toad is a little tricky, I'll definitely say. Emerald now for Xenomorphs as well. Having a bit of a slow period now. Not a lot of new content getting exposed. But we're about to see ventilation shaft. Oh wait. Yeah, we are. Oh, that looked like something. That's Annihilator.
That's Annihilator.
I thought it was for a second, but I wasn't sure if it was light ammo. That's definitely going to play a big role. We are also going to check Spider's Treasure while we're here. We have power bombs.
So let's see. Annihilator would put doomed entry into logic, but it would be a one-way check.
Yes. Yeah, opening portals is really the big effect.
Oh, Pod W.
Plane of Dark Worship, yes. I believe that was hinted at. Oh, wait, no, that's Seablade. That was last seed. Pod W, we don't know anything about. Doing this NSJ is a bit involved, but not too bad. And we do have light beam, so we can get Haze and Cliff, thankfully.
And Jeff in chat is pointing out that doomed entry is not a one-way check because they have supers, so there's two items
that's
there.
Right. We can go to Battlegrounds, we can do that, and then we can leave through... actually, we get 3 items because there's Warrior's Walk. But I don't think we can get out of Warrior's Walk without Space Jump. I'm not sure.
Space Jump boots Hazing Cliff.
Oh, that's big news for Baja. That's going to definitely put OVG into a pretty solid lead here. Because Xenomorphs is just on the other side of the map.
And since he has main power bombs, that is in logic.
Absolutely, that's huge progression. Meanwhile, TGC does Flogger gets a dark ammo expansion for his troubles. Meanwhile, Avina is just getting that Aegon key we saw earlier.
I imagine at this point, Baja's probably going to go back around and do labs from the front.
TGC struggling with early wild a bit. These bombs are just a bit too late. The timing is not by any means easy.
Yep, he's going around to the front. A lot less stressful than trying to do the Dark Samus fight and making sure at least one of those silos survives.
I'm not surprised. And we died to early wild. That's unfortunate. Remember, we didn't save after Flogger, so if we want to do Ghosts, we're going to have to fight Flogger again. So that hurts. That hurts. TGC is not going to do that, though. We are going to save warp. It would not be wise at this point.
So Baja has space jumps and is just doing this NSJ for fun, I guess.
Well, I assume he forgot, because he just unmorphed right now and did it with Space Jump. I figured Crash Site just has a missile.
Xeno appears to be making his way towards that space jump.
Xenomore is about to get that Annihilator and Space Jump, just a few minutes behind Baja. Kills the Pillbug for safety.
Okay, good. He's going to Spider side. I was worried for a second he might see the Annihilator and think, oh, I need to go back and do Pod W.
Did you see the CMS hint?
I did not.
TGC is going to go out of bounds to do, training. What's that room? Training chamber. I think that's what it was.
Going straight to Dark Labs.
Yeah, I definitely can't dispute that choice. Oh, that looked like a big item. That's a suit.
Oh, that's a suit.
Light suit acquired.
And he's going straight to Feeding Pit with that.
I'm not surprised. Remind me, was Feeding Pit an in-cache? Flying cache.
No, feeding pit is just dark water.
Okay, so we can go get that now. I always get it confused with the other room. You know, the one
Dark
where you have to.
Oasis?
Yeah, you have to defeat power bomb.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
that's
a
ice beam.
beam!
That's ice beam. That's huge. That's huge. Are we not even gonna? Oh, we don't have dark beam. We can't open that door. Xenomorphs, meanwhile, is only just getting space jump. And oh, training chamber is a ball for echoes. This out of bounds is getting OVG some huge advantages. Battlegrounds doesn't have anything, but we still have Hazing Cliff open to us.
Hazing Cliff was space jump.
Sorry, Warrior's Walk. My bad. I don't know why I said Hazing Cliff. And
That is a Sonic Boom. Very useful if you have to fight Grapple Guardian.
Yeah. And Spider Ball. That was Spider Ball in Training Chamber. Which is huge, because we got that completely out of bounds, out of logic. TGC did that. Which is really good, because we don't have Verisuit right now, so we can't cross Magma Pool in logic. Because we don't have Verisuit, we don't have Grapple Beam. And I don't believe the dash is in logic, even though it is possible.
Does Avina know Early Wild?
I'm not sure. I would assume so. They're a pretty good player. So it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Because if he does that and that turns out to be something, that could be big for No Gain All Pain.
Yeah, potentially, because TGC is really not in the mood to go do that. That's Echo's Grapple. That's not going to be the most important, but we don't have Screw Attack yet, so that could absolutely play a role. If we have something wonky like Vanilla Screw Attack, we're going to need that Grapple.
Mm-hmm.
Unless our runners want to do like the super wild roll jump. I think that's you could do to get to Vault. Either way, though, it is still going to help.
Did Avina reset?
Looks like it. Not sure.
Jeff saying they ran out of bombs.
Oh, that's unfortunate. A beam can be found in the feeding pit. We already know that's the ice beam. Looks like Avina is kind of just killing time, which isn't ideal. Gotta check artifacts. Oh. We'll get a full read this time. Gravity chamber, not great. Transit station, main reactor. Grand Wind Chamber. Ooh, that was a Sunburst in Hall of the Elders. And then the ones we already know. Biohazard, Under Transit 1. Beam-related upgrade in Dark Torvus Lagoon, and a boost ball in Torvus Lagoon for our Prime player.
That is a good find.
Definitely. Definitely. Oh, it's a visor in Central Mining Station. That was what the hint was for Battleground.
Is it Prime or Echoes?
I didn't see. I think it was Prime, but don't quote me on that. Because it was, I think it was listed as players, like, visor, whereas it would just say your visor if it was for Echoes. Oh. I don't know what happened to TGC stream.
Maybe he wants to stream checkers.
Yeah, you could never have too much fractal checkers, I guess. Recursive checkers.
There's a visor.
That's thermal. Oh, it said it contains a prime visor. Okay, that makes sense.
So then X-ray is dark visor locked.
Interesting. Okay, TGC says in the race time, CRT went wonky, so he's having some trouble with his TV. Alright, we're back. Definitely that kind of thing doesn't help your nerves. Oh, Spider Ball on the ship in GFMC. That's for Prime. So Prime now has another ball upgrade. That's all of them, except for main power bombs.
That could potentially be big for OVG.
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, if you can't make that check the first time you go through GFMC, that's not something that in the back of your mind.
And FTA doesn't have anything for us, unfortunately. Just a missile. Xenor's picking up the Sonic Boom.
Making the correct choice.
Of course. Avena only just now doing Arbor Chamber.
Which unfortunately isn't going to get them anything too important.
Yeah, it's just an energy tank. But Avena already has one at this point.
Looks like Baja is going to check Phazon grounds.
That's a good play at this point. We don't have Dark Visor, though, and we don't have Screw Attack, so this is going to be a bit tricky. We are going to be able to at least look at it. So if it's junk, we don't have to worry about how we're going to get it. We just have to ignore it, which is very simple. We just go back. What could that be? Is that Seekers, maybe? Or Wave Beam?
I can't tell. Although they can't be Wave Beam, they already have Wave Beam.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. That was pretty early. That was in the tree. We're gonna just nuke them, and we're gonna see a strategy here. The invisible platforms that you would see with Dark Beam, well, they're not intangible, so we just shoot them and see where the bullet impacts are as a way to discern where the platform is.
Oh, it's a power bomb expansion.
For Prime, which is our first one, so we want to grab that because it's going to let us do some power bomb checks out of logic. That can be pretty helpful. We fall. That's unfortunate. But not unexpected. These are pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Xeno appears to be frozen.
Accidentally dash off of combat, like target. Ooh, Xenowar's stream appears to have frozen. That's no good. You can tell because the timer has also stopped, which means that it's a stream problem and not a game problem. Hopefully we'll have that back soon. Avina says, Xeno's CPU just overloaded, and my B button is stuck. So it appears that No Gain All Pain is having a bit of bad luck right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of pain over there.
This part of the stream where Avina, they're standing still, is probably to send those messages. Rico, you should probably be using push to talk if possible.
Oh. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, unfortunately the speed police are coming to bust us. We're moving too fast. We're making too much progress. The man isn't happy with that. The man wants you to play Prime slowly, without glitches like the developers intended. But we're not going to let them win. Don't worry.
Well, that's why they took most of the stuff out of the remaster.
Yeah. We still have our fast missiles. They can't take that away from us. I mean, they could, but, they haven't.
Finally get to see what Pod W is.
And a powerball expansion, very nice. We already have names for Echoes, but it helps. Oh, is that our last Aegon key? It is not. Very fortunate. And now
So yeah, that's not worth anything.
For a powerbomb drop. So check the other item. Varia suited Pod W. That's huge.
That is just a really awful location for that.
That is a dark Aegon key in the other Life Grove area check, though. That's all three we've counted for. That's a bit scary. Xeno Wars is back. Because, again, their computer crashed, is the message that I'm getting. So thankfully we are back in the game now, hopefully without losing too much progress. That's definitely going to suck, though.
So at this point, it looks like Prime just needs Plasma Beam and Phazon.
Yes, we'd also like to get our, X-ray visor if we can. That would be nice. Gravity probably not too important. Oh wait, we do need biohazard, so gravity would be a plus. Because one of our artifact hints is biohazard containment. So we do need to go to frigate. But I think our runners can get to biohazard without gravity. It's just a bit arduous.
Oh yeah, you do those like wall boosts down.
Well, yeah, you need to get past the cargo freight lift to that gamma, or else you have to go backwards, which is also not great. Oh, Xenowars got sent back a long way. We lost the space jump. That's gone.
You
We
know, it's
lost Sonic
probably
Boom. We
not
lost
good.
Annihilator. We lost our one of our suits. We lost Emerald. That's awful. That is not
Ooh,
good.
yeah, that
That
hurts.
might threaten actually the competitive like nature of the game. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're gonna get any kind of ruling from the TOs. It's possible. I wouldn't hold my breath though.
Yeah, unfortunately, crashes are just a thing that's it's always a possibility.
It wasn't even a game crash either. It was a PC crash, which is worse.
I was going to say earlier that it's probably a bad sign that when talking about frigate, my brain immediately goes to, oh yeah, you can get that. Just go backwards gravity list.
I don't know. I think you're just built a bit different. That actually is really difficult to do.
And you see, my partner, Soaring Wyvern, does that in practice so often that I didn't even realize that was difficult.
Yeah, that's actually one of the much more difficult tricks. A lot of our runners are not able to do that consistently.
Phazon suit in Magmore.
That's huge. That's like one of the last items that Prime needed. Now all we have to worry about is STKs. We really want to get our STK hints. The problem is we don't have secret, and
Baja making that scan dash look easy.
oh, is that a dark visor? It is.
So he can go get X-ray now, which is probably what he's going to do.
That wouldn't surprise me.
No, it looks like he's just going to continue the labs loop.
That's also a good decision.
Well, I mean, unless it turns out that Dark Beam is vanilla, he's going to have to go all the way back around.
It's true, but I believe in the heart of the cards. I think it actually is vanilla, honestly. Also, can't we just go through ventilation shaft, or am I a bit cuckoo?
Oh yeah, yes he can because they have Spider now.
Yeah. Even if not, I know there's a jump up there. We have bomb, we have space jump. Oh wait, doesn't that require a screw attack bonk? Never mind then.
I believe it does.
I've not seen the sand processing climb done like this. Normally you see people hop onto the other side, not onto the near side. See them hop on the side next to the morph tunnel. Is that like a standard thing? Hopping on the other side?
I cannot do that trick, so
Ah, unfortunate. I would have liked to know. It definitely seems like a good one to learn. Ooh, and that leads us to another energy transfer module. Actually, I think that's the first one we found. I was getting more seed bleed because we had one on Jump Guardian last seed.
well, Baja's validated at least.
That's always good news. Bye bye, Dark Samus 1. See you next time. Better luck. It's a
Oh my
vanilla
god.
Dark Beam. That's huge. Baja Blood definitely bet on the right horse there. That's all three of our beams for Echoes now.
Yep.
We've got all of them. Big news. Is the spider track inactive on this layer or something? That might be something. I forget.
No, he reloaded the room.
Ah. And what's this roll thing for? Are we trying to
I
skip
have no idea.
something? Because surely we can just jump over if we're trying to get the main reactor item, which we know is an artifact.
Oh, he doesn't have screw attack.
Yeah, but do we need it? We have Spider Ball. Oh wait,
need Boost
we
Ball.
can't screw attack into the gap. That's right.
And to do the puzzle vanilla, you need boost ball too.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I've not seen it done this way before very often. This is neat. Very well done.
I agree. Xeno is unfortunately still playing catch up. Lost a lot with that.
Yeah, that set him back a long way.
Looks like Avina is going for Frigate without gravity, which at this point, since Xeno can't get them their items yet, this is probably the best use of their time.
Honestly, you're probably right there. Meanwhile, Baja grabs that X-ray that we were hinted. We are going to be able to get Hydra, which is a Dark Torvus key.
Do we know what Chica is?
Chica is dead. Chica and Quad are both completely dead. We don't know about a Morbus, though. That looks like a beam up. That looks like a multiplayer item, maybe in Observatory. Yeah, it looks the right size. That's unlimited beam ammo.
Yeah, if it's got the beam colors, different colors on each side, then it's a multiplayer one.
Yes. And the missile, the unlimited missile, the only difference there is just size. It's the unlimited missiles is larger than a normal missile expansion. At least it seems to be to me. I'm not sure if that's an objective reality.
Well, it uses different models in each of the games.
Ah, does it? Screw attack in cargo freight lift deck Gamma. That could actually be pretty big. I don't think TGC is going to get that anytime soon because we're on the completely opposite side of the map. Screw attack for Xenowars is going to be pretty significant. Could allow them to catch up here. We've already got most of the same items. Mostly it's just that Echoes can't get some of the prime items yet, like the ball items. I think some of those were in Echoes. I'm not sure. Do you think that mixes things up a bit, even with the 40-minute time loss?
Well, it definitely helps for movement, so that is an advantage that he has now. That'll help him get back a bit of time.
Yeah, I still think we need something else to really put us in the lead, unless TGC really last locations that, and we need the screw attack. We don't have our Sky Temple key hints right now, and we've only seen a few of them, so that could absolutely. Cheeseburger. Xeno didn't die, they had a PC crash. Plasma Beam is in sync. Okay, that could mean screw attack. That could mean screw attack requirement, possibly.
Looks like Xeno's trying for the secret world.
One of oh wait, no, that might have been last seed. Was it ATS required this seed for an artifact? Okay, never mind. I'm not having seed blade, so that is sort of a required screw attack. I think there are ways around it, but that's already something.
Well, I mean, if it's the one in the force field, you could always fight Caretaker for it. Not that I would recommend that.
I mean, yeah, and if it's not, and if it's the other one, that also is screw attack required. Avena manages to clear the surface of the water. That's gravity suiting the gravity chamber. I think we just had that scanned. Or not in gravity chamber, but in, I think this is Frost Cave. I get my rooms mixed up sometimes when I'm like just getting a glance at them.
Well, this might push TGC towards Frigate.
Potentially. But that's still a ways off. SDK2 acquired by Xenowars. Is this in Mining Plaza? Where is this? What room is this?
Yes, that's Mining Plaza.
Oh, so that means required a Morbus, and Xenowars just skipped it. I don't know if Baja knows how to do that. That one's not super common.
Even if he does, I don't know if he'd do it. It's a lot harder to get out of this than it is to get in, as
Absolutely.
Xeno is demonstrating.
You need to get out, because it's for Echoes, so if we don't get out, we don't get to keep it. It looks like Xenowars knows what he's doing, but it still could take us a while. Struggling to get this screw at the right time. Oh, that one almost looked like it. I'm not quite sure what the proper one looks like it.
I couldn't tell you.
We don't even know where Echo Visor is at this point. That was something that somebody in chat just brought up, which we need to do this check logically. We have no clue about Echo Visor.
Yeah, it looks like Avina just soft locked in frigate.
It happens.
I did not see that hint. That was way too fast for me.
So we got the screw attack out of it, which is pretty big. That means that if once we do find gravity suit, we can just go in the back and skip freight lift. And bear in mind, Baja doesn't have the screw attack, so Baja can't even attempt this. Though it is seeming to take Xenomorph quite a bit. That's another ATM in Florvis Temple Access, I believe that room is. I forget. Xenomorph's trying to see if a realignment could help.
At this point, I'd say he's lost too much time doing this.
Another ATM in underground tunnel. Honestly, I wouldn't even say that. A major upgrade is somewhere in Hive. I didn't see which room. Xenomorphs looks like reset there.
I would agree with that decision at this point. Because
yeah, it didn't look like we were going to get it.
What he needs to be doing is going to Pod W to get that Varia suit.
Yeah. Varia was in Plane of Dark Worship for Kirby Master in the chat.
Xeno is grabbing it right now.
Yes. Avina's probably going to head right back down the elevator after we get it.
Hopefully once he grabs this, he continues on to Phazon Pit to get that Ice Beam.
Yes. Feeding Pit. You're thinking of Phazon Grounds, which was not the Ice Beam.
Yes, you are right.
Phazon Grounds just had a power bomb expansion for Metroid Prime, which could still be useful.
Especially since Avina currently doesn't have any.
Yes. TGC didn't have any either, which is why Baja Blood went to get it. Oh, Avina has the ice beam even. We already got it in Feeding Pit. I didn't see what this item in the tunnel was. Oh, is that Seekers? That looks
That
like
is
Seekers.
Seekers.
Yeah! Baja Blood just got that. Whereas Xenomorphs only just got the Emerald Translator for the second time.
Oh, almost.
That's unfortunate. That's a bit of a time loss. Thankfully, all of the drafts are still blowing in the right direction, so we just go up. They're Seekers. TGC, meanwhile, is entering mines. So we're not going to be seeing that screw attack for a while. Morph Ball related upgrade in Reliquary has just been hinted. Do you remember where our
Which
Dark
game?
Visor was? I didn't see which game the upgrade was for. Xenomorphs is about to get the Spider Ball for Metroid Prime on GFMC. The ship is where it was.
Well, I suppose that's one way to use the crate.
Sent Spider Ball to Umos, which is our Prime player, Avina. Ooh, misses the jump. That one's pretty tricky. Gravity Chamber just has a missile expansion on the lower item. TGC grabs an STK and ventilation shaft, which is very nice. That's one down. This one is pretty hard to explain. Xenomorphs took a big time loss because they had a PC crash and their last save was 6 minutes into the seed. This was at like almost 50 minutes in when we crashed. Spent a few minutes just getting back up, and now is spending even more time finding all the items they already got. But there are some differences in gear that make this interesting. Screwtech was in Cargo Freight Lift Today Gamma, which is a big advantage for Xenowars because TGC is nowhere near that and is probably not going to get it for a while. So it's really hard to decide who I think is in the lead. I would say the default definitely goes to OVG, but it's not clear cut for sure. And that screw attack is going to make phase-on grounds a lot easier for Xenowars. We don't have to do any invisible platforms. We just screw attack across the gap. It's trivial.
Looks like Baja is going to get hints.
That would be a very smart thing to do at this point. Wait, are they? They're in Torvis.
They were in lower Torvis. They got the Seekers and beelined it up.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah, that probably is where we're going, isn't it? That's Avina's first power bomb expansion. Dark Metroids give us a bit of trouble, but they don't interrupt us too much.
And there is Cannonball in the grapple location.
Okay, that's a good time for Cannonball. Avina just got the Artifact of Truth. I think that's the one that was in Gravity Chamber, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it was. So it took them a while to get that. He must have had a bit of trouble with the jump, which is a very tricky jump, one of the hardest slope jumps in Prime. I think I've only managed to do it once or twice, so I can definitely understand that. I say that as somebody who was, I think, pretty good at slope jumps back when I played. Avena misses the combo on the gel zap, doesn't manage to freeze it.
TGC is fighting the Alpha Pirate.
Philip. And apparently we don't have very many missiles because we're using charged ice, which is not very good. Yeah, we only had like one missile left. We got a bit more, but not for Prime. That was for Echoes. We need 4 more SDKs for Team OVG to complete the game. Main gyro chamber, that's not great. What was that? What?
Mining Plaza.
Okay.
We knew that.
Dynamo
Works.
It was just moving a bit fast. Fungal hole accent. Those artifacts aren't bad.
So Dynamo Works is Spider Guardian, so logically required Cobalt.
50-50 on whether we need it, because there's obviously the item in the back that we can get for free, right?
Yeah, but it still logically requires Cobalt.
Logically, yes.
Which has not shown up yet.
True.
Oh, that cannonball is very helpful as Baja does not have boost ball yet.
Absolutely. Xenomorphs gets the thermal.
Has TGC fought Thardus yet?
I don't believe so. And Avena obtains the gravity suit.
Xeno making that standable trick look easy. I have soft-locked myself there several times.
Oh, very nice. So does that mean Xeno got the item in Grand Wind Chamber, which I believe was an artifact?
It was an artifact.
And we got it.
Yep.
Awesome.
That is something I believe Baja will have to go back for.
Yeah, Baja didn't get it, did he? In part because no screw attack. You need screw attack to jump to the platform conveniently.
Yep. Well, unless you wanted to do the puzzle.
Yes. And we can technically do it, but Baja's holding out for that screw attack, which is not going to see him for a long time. Yumo's beam can be found in the feeding pit. That was the ice beam, and we already have it. TGC is doing... is that Frigate? Yeah, that looks like...
Yeah, that's Frigate.
Interesting. Now we have to climb this room. Oh, wait, no, we don't. We have gravity suit. We already climbed the that one like sort of vertical shaft, you know, the one that makes NSJ or not NSJ gravity backwards or gravityless backwards kind of difficult.
There is the artifact in biocontainment.
And Prime's boost ball is sent to Avena.
And there is Screw Attack.
That's NGAP's big advantage kind of down the drain, unfortunately. OVG has caught wind and now has the screw attack as well. They haven't had all the time to capitalize on it, though, which I think is still potentially something that could change things. However, Xehanort still doesn't have artifact hints, or SDK hints, rather. And that's not ideal.
And unfortunately, he's not going to get them unless he wants to do the secret world, until he goes to Lower Torvis.
Yeah, Xehanort is leaving Torvis at this point. It's possible that we'll see a Seeker skip.
Well, he's kind of got to. He hasn't gotten his vanilla dark beam yet, so he cannot proceed through the front door. Looks like he is going for the Seeker skip.
This is, I think, the best play, if we can get this.
So for anyone who doesn't know, what Xeno is doing is called an Aether Jump. So essentially... Oh, there is the last visor. So essentially, every room within the game exists inside of a box, and the physics are contained inside of that box. So as you pass back and forth repeatedly inside and outside the box, you have a brief 3-frame window to make a jump before you start falling. And it looks like Piers has a Discord outage. And TGC gets the gate skip. So with that Echo Visor, now the biggest thing that's still missing is that Plasma Beam, which we still don't really have any idea where it could be. Yeah, Jeff, we lost Pierre. Baja opening that gate from behind. And the nice thing about that is that the cutscene also repositions you so you don't have to cross that giant gap. And there is Cobalt. So that now puts Spider Guardian into logic. So logically, the boost ball was required, and we still have not seen it from in either game. And it is the SDK is the tunnel item, so Baja can use an instant morph to just skip Spider Guardian and get into the tunnel from the exit. And TGC appears to just be chilling by that plasma door. No, Cestrion, we have no clue where plasma is. It's likely somewhere in Echoes because I cannot think of anywhere in Prime that TGC can get to that he has not been. It cannot be an area unless Boost Ball shows up somewhere. Looks like Xeno might have pieced together that Dark Beam is vanilla. Baja using standables to preserve his cannonball and skip that morph ball cannon that normally gets you onto this puzzle. Now, this is a place that Plasma could be because this is not boost locked. Nope, just another ETM. This could be Plasma if Boost Ball is somewhere in Echoes. If Boost Ball is Plasma locked, then this cannot be Plasma. Looks like Xeno also finally gotten his Dark Beam, so the world is pretty much open to him at this point. Which, unfortunately, with how much time he lost in that crash, I'm not sure he has a path to catching up.
Power went out for me. Like all the lights suddenly went out, and now I am back.
Welcome back, Pierre.
Where are we now?
Baja is still looking for that Plasma Beam.
What about Xenomorphs? Are we almost caught up, or are we still pretty far behind?
Xeno has gotten his Dark Beam.
Excellent.
Which is fantastic because he needs that to progress, but also not so great because with Dark Beam, the entire world's pretty much open to him now,
and we don't have the Plasma hit.
Yep.
So yeah, this is definitely a bit dicey for NGAP. It's looking like a 5th loss, I believe. Which is really got to sting, because these, again, are not bad players. These are people you would expect to have at least some wins on the book, but it looks like they just... I don't want to say
picking
luck,
up the Dark Visor.
Yeah, there's Dark Visor. That's helpful. That does lead to X-Ray for Prime, which could hold something, but probably not. By the way, have we seen Echo Visor yet? It looks like Baja.
Yes, we have.
Where was that?
I cannot remember the room.
Alright. Also, if Twitch chat says anything, you're going to need to read it, because my browser crashed, obviously, too, when the power went out, and I don't want to lag my computer out by reopening all my tabs.
Gotcha. There's Plasma Beam.
There it is.
So this is technically boost locked.
Huh.
So that raises a question of where in this seed is boost.
That's going to be an interesting one, and probably something that we're only going to find out in the credits. There was that morph system hit in E Reliquary. I don't know what that went to. We got Dark Visor now. We could check it.
That would be mean. Prime Boost Ball and Ing Reliquary. There's...
We already have Prime Boost.
Sorry, Echo's Boost Ball. There's just no... There's no point where that check isn't out of the way.
Yeah.
But with that Plasma Beam, OVG is in go mode. They just need to clean up all their artifacts and keys now.
Yeah, this could be a sub 2 hour seed.
Gotta love that those crystals can be opened by screw attack.
From the other side as well, which is what's really useful. There's the artifact in Under Transit 1.
You know, Boost Ball could be in Inkash too. That's been in Logic for a while.
Oh, could do. But what other morph system is there that we haven't got? Or whatever that was hinted at in Reliquary.
Does Prime
that be an
have main
expansion?
power bombs?
Oh, we don't. We don't. That's right.
Oh, Inkash 2 was the Echo Visor.
Alright. Have we checked Vanilla Light Beam?
I feel like we must have, but I cannot remember.
Hmm.
And there are main PBs for Prime.
Oh, where are they?
One of the ice ruins.
Oh, I see.
So main power bombs are plasma locked. Multi-Dark Samus is Ice Ruins is saying Ice Ruins West, which is good because I have no idea which one of those is east and which one is west. So thank you, chat.
And that's the last artifact for Prime. They're gonna go finish their game now.
Yep.
How many SDKs do we have left? Do we have any left?
I cannot tell from the quality on the restream.
Mm. Baja's tracker says 6, according to Zaruvian in chat. I did actually open up my Twitch. I had a moment. Yeah, that's what it looks like, 6.
Xeno is doing a Morbus.
Yeah, we had hints for Morbus, I believe. Oh wait, yeah, for the
SDK.
yes, the SDK.
You know what would be mean? Would be if a Morbus was Echo's boost. Still possible to get a worm skip here, but Xeno would have to be perfect. Nope. And TGC has finished Ridley.
Doing the climb. Morbus itself has.
Oh my god, there it is.
That's boost ball. No way. No way.
Oh my god.
That's awful. That's horrible. Horrific. That's brutal. I hate this suit.
Baja is going for the out of bounds.
Yeah, we're hoping to skip a Morbus for the SPK, I see.
So I do not remember seeing an Amorbis hint. So was Amorbis one of the Cobalt hints?
I don't know. I don't think I saw one. I might have missed it though, because I was out for like quite a bit. Xenomorph gets a cannonball.
Right after he gets Boost Ball.
Yep. And Baja
And it
gets
looks-
How.
Yep.
Big good. How many more SDKs do we have? Like 2, right?
I believe he needs to. It looks like it was a pretty tame subchamber for TGC.
Yeah.
I didn't see nearly as much chaos as I was expecting.
No, sir.
Baja getting the instant morph into the morph ball track. I always hate when Prime just doesn't get out of the pool.
After much difficulty, finally Xenomorph gets the artifact.
And there is Prime down.
G. It's not GG yet. We've only got half of them done. Just a G.
Nicely done. Baja gets the STK and preserves his cannonball.
That's all of our SDKs, and we are warping to start. Getting ready to finish the game. Meanwhile, Avina is waiting for the plasma beam. Looks like.
Which, unfortunately, we know that Xeno is heading the wrong way.
Yes. Wavebuster and Poisoned Bog, Ice Spreader and Accursed Lake, and Flamethrower and Hall of Combat Mastery. That's very fun.
Well, we knew the flamethrower.
Xenowars gets the plasma hit. Gonna turn around immediately, almost certainly. Or possibly go through the elevator and lower toward this route through that.
Oh yeah, that would be good. That would like put him 2 rooms away too. Xenomorphs once again scanning the Emerald Gate from above it. Which is cool that you can do that. I never would have thought to try that.
Hmm. Seeker Launcher and TTS, Xenowars knows.
Yeah, with unlimited ammo and Annihilator Beam, Emperor-ing 1 is pretty free. And with Cannonball, Emperor-ing 2 is trivial.
Yeah, you can't get knocked off because you are unable to take damage. It still isn't great to do without power bombs, but still. Misses that tendril. Gonna have to go back for it.
Man, that tendril just did not want to die.
Last one. Now EI3. Almost. And... oh no, we missed that lunge. There we go.
So, for anyone who's not aware why screw attacking into Emperor Ing 3's kneecaps work, the developers were originally going to have another phase to that fight where there was a shield that you had to bring down, and you would do that, by screw attacking into the shield. But they scrapped that part of the fight and forgot to remove the hitbox for it.
And the hitbox now just links to Emperor Ing's actual health pool, so you can just deal damage that way at all parts of the fight. It's almost a little disappointing that there's so much cheese since the first two phases are so quick. But, you know, that's just how it is. Xenomorphs might have gotten transport tunnels mixed up. That happens to me too.
Looks like Baja got his screw attack.
Yes. That's been the case for quite a while. And
that was a nice Dark Samus fight. And that is GG for Team Orange versus Green.
And NGAP has decided to forfeit. Hello, Team OVG is with us. Avina is here as well. Xenowars might take a minute to show up. Hopefully the invites work.
So, anyone have any thoughts on that?
I had a lot of fun, actually.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear that you guys were having fun.
The crash was unfortunate. I need to fix the B button on my controller. That is why I failed every dash in the first, 15, 20 minutes.
So I will say, this is really interesting, because both of you guys had pretty significant streaks. OVG, this is going to be the 4th consecutive win, and no gain, all pain. Unfortunately, living up to the name, this is the 5th consecutive loss. Do you guys think you're going to have any breaks in that cycle? Both teams.
I mean, yeah, we've got some decent opponents left. Team Phasite didn't participate in the seeding round, so we haven't gotten to see quite as much of what they're capable of. But I know, Ivy and Fuki have played a lot of Prime and multi-worlds and stuff, and then Orange Cats have been freaking tearing it up.
Yeah, and yeah, so this seed definitely you did take a bit of an early advantage, but NGAP was definitely in it. If it weren't for that crash, which lost almost 40 minutes of progress,
oh no!
If it weren't for that, I think the earlier screw attack that Avina found would have actually gotten them the win. It's really a shame to see that.
Xeno pretty much crashed right before he was about to go grab the Varia suit.
Oh no!
It was really not great.
Yeah,
it was kind of unfortunate. Because it wasn't even a game crash; it was a PC crash. The CPU on apparently overheated and the system crashed. Hopefully, you get your rig good for next game, because otherwise, I would have actually, I probably would have predicted you being a winner there, because you had some really interesting advantages there.
That said, we only got the early screw attack because of how late the Vario was. If I hadn't if I'd got Varia, I would have just gone through all of Magmor Dunfin. I wouldn't have ended up with my only item in quote unquote logic being cargo freight lift. It would have played out way differently.
Yeah, I was quite suspicious of it when it came in, the Ice Beam and Thermal, because they dropped in at roughly the same time. But there was I think Spider was roughly around the same time as well, so I kind of backtracked a bit.
We actually we got the Ice Beam and the hint for the X-Ray at the same time, and I was just like, that's going to be thermal. I got to remember cargo freight lift. And then I was there and just, check it while I'm here. And then there was the X-ray visor that was hinted, not the thermal.
I went from feeling so smug about my early game route to feeling really stupid when I found the vanilla dark beam. When I was going into labs, it was like you could do the light or the dark, and like if you do the light without dark beam, you're kind of forced to save and quit or walk really far back.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I didn't get dark beam till late.
Yeah. Yeah, so all the items we were finding made the dark look interesting, and then I was like, ooh, we have all the stuff for like Torvus Lagoon, and then I can route that into GFMC, and I kept finding all the good stuff, and it was like, oh, this is great. And then I go and I found that actually I could have just done Light Labs, got Dark Beam, got all the stuff for TGC, and then proceeded into Torvus through Lagoon. I was like, whoops. Yeah, you could really have got rid of this seed if you played for the Villa Dark Beam right away. But that's, I don't know, that's so hard to do.
So how about that Echo's boost ball?
Yeah, it was bad. I'm glad we found Cannonball.
Yeah. We were in the middle of kind of routing and trying to figure out what the plan was, because we knew there was a key remaining in Chozo. And as I was on my way there, we just stumbled straight into Cannonball and went, well, this changes a lot.
I was operating on the theory in like towards the latter half of the seed that Hive Gyro, that hint was talking about screw attack. So I've been real disappointed if I got there and saw it was Cobalt.
So where did Plasma end up being?
Plasma was in Reactor Core.
Yes, in Echoes. That was Sank.
Also, Spider in Training Chamber Access. Where was Grapple?
Grapple was on Ghosts, we discovered, but I done Training Chamber wall crawl and came across the Spider, so we stole that while I was in a little bit of BK.
Yeah, that ended up being pretty helpful.
But we were very much at a loss as to where the Grapple was for a lot of it.
Oh, I was not going to do Ghosts unless I ran out of everything, so I never would have found it. I failed my early wild yet again.
Yeah, I died on early wild, but I took the save beforehand because I was like, thankfully nothing was on Flagra. Yeah.
I actually, when we got Screw Attack, I was like, I'm either going to go down and do Gravityless Frigate, or I'm going to do the Training Chamber wall crawl. I sort of wish I'd done the other one, because I would have still been in BK and gone and done Cargo Freight Lift like 10 minutes later.
So were you BK'd with Ice and Wave Beam then?
We thought we knew where the thermal was, and it was gettable. So I was like, okay, cool. Cargo Freight Lifts and Logic, because thermal visor is grabbable. I guess technically I was in BK, but Gravityless Frigate's not terrible.
Yeah.
Talking about visors, how about the Dark and Echo visors being in the same room?
I hadn't even realized.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
That completely slipped me by too.
Were they?
I also
They're in the light and dark versions of
We also got 2 Prime Beam related upgrade hints after finding 2 of the beam combos. It was like, oh, okay, so your plasma's just in one of those, right? So we got the hint that it's in Seg, and we're like, wait, what? Those were both bait?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on my way to Poison Bog at the end, and then I read the hint.
Yep, same. Yeah, I was running towards Poison Bog when I got the Sank hit too. It's like, okay.
But honestly, I don't remember a whole lot of the seed. I think from Fen onwards it was pretty dull for Prime. There wasn't a whole lot there, bar the power bombs. The rest of it was just kind of...
Oh man, I saw those power bombs while I ended up going through Frigate, going through mines backwards after resetting, going through Finn backward, not mines, going through Finn backwards. Saw the power bombs, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting those. We're basically in Plasma Beam Go mode.
By the time that we got Plasma, I was waiting for the Fungal Hall. I was waiting for access to get Fungal Hall, and there was still an artifact or 2, I think, outstanding. So I was like, grab the Fungal Hall key, warp back, and I'm going to race Baja and see if I could get the power bombs before Baja got my last artifact.
I mean, that's about what I think our plan was. I had lower mines, the couple plasma checks, and then like ghosts I think left to clear.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot left. A few plasma checks and Thardus and Fen.
Morph ball in tower chamber. Just give you everything you need to beat like half of the game immediately as soon as the game starts.
We were expecting that as soon as we saw like Wave in the tree, and we're like, this is starting to be a bit fishy. So we figured it was either on Tower of Light because we had like 35, 40 missiles or something already.
Yeah, same thing. I think I got the I'm going to get your supers from Xeno like while I was walking up to check the tree. And I was like, well, that's my wave. I'm going to go fail one root cave dash and then go back and wait. How many missiles have I got? Like 40? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
10 logic.
Okay, any final comments about the seed?
I'll probably use this seed to, from now on, save and then check Vanilla Darkbeam.
Seed 2 of 3. That's all I can say.
Yeah, good luck.
Let the bleeding continue.
But one more to go.
The only thing I seed bleeded this time was not remembering if I had sunburst or not. So I disappointed Kirby Master by not sunbursting at the ring.
You totally did.
Did y'all win your first race today?
Yes. Yeah, we did. We did manage
Congrats.
to take down, check the tree.
I was at work, so I didn't get to watch it or follow it or anything. But good job.
No, that's it from me. I've got nothing else to say.
All right. I guess we'll see you next mission, guys.
See you next.
Appreciate it.
Bye.